Hello there everyone, this is iMark3 and I hope you're ready for another little random something on this channel. Well, kind of random, kind of not. It is sci-fi, it's in space, it's got shooty pew lasers, you know, that kind of thing. I do like that kind of thing. But this is also a slight oddity of the game as well, in that for the first time ever, I have actually had the developer reach out to me and offer me a key to this and hope to see something on the channel. So, you know what? I liked the tone of the message I was sent, and from that alone I decided I would at least try to do a video with it. But then I also looked a bit deeper, I looked at the tutorial, and it's just like, this checks a few boxes that I've kind of been looking out for in a few games. Not part of my usual fare, but it is close enough, and so I think I will find this interesting just flat out. But anyway, this is Space Menace 2, early access version. There is a Space Menace 1, which I had never actually come across before I heard from the developer. I also point out this is a solo developer, operating by themselves, and honestly, some of the comparisons I've seen, especially on the first one, are a little bit unfair and a little bit, what's the opposite of generous? Generous? Not entirely sure. A bit harsh, I suppose you could say. A negative comment on the first game is, this game is like Battle Void Harbinger, but worse in every way. Just go and buy Battle Void Harbinger. And honestly, that's why it checks some boxes for me. Because I've kind of wanted a game like Battle Void Harbinger that actually offers you a bit more customization, a bit more ability to roam, and doesn't do what Battle Void Harbinger does, which is it lets you keep going until it can develop enough burst damage to one-shot your flagship. So that's one of my main critiques of Battle Void Harbinger. Now, fair is fair. Star Menace 2. Oh wow. I am so sorry. Space Menace 2. I will get this right. Damn it. I do sometimes just interchange those two, like space and star, and sometimes stellar, oddly enough. Space Menace 2 is a solo dev. Battle Void Harbinger came from an actual dev team, dev company, and they had several games before that. Ironically, in a different genre entirely. Same universe, different genre. It was actually a kind of like a static defense game, building turrets on your station to defend against incoming attack waves. That was the first Battle Void game that I'm aware of. But Harbinger is also the only game of its type that I actually maxed out and finished and unlocked everything. Yeah, so as I said, it checks a few boxes for me. Let's drop in though. Starting your games, wipe the old save file. Yes, I took a quick poke to see what was past the tutorial, and then I left after the second system. So that's all I've done so far. This is kind of like a first impressions almost, but it will get us rolling at the very least. And don't worry, I will share what I liked about the message I was sent and why I decided that alone was grounds for me to at least try to look at the game. So, welcome to Space Menace 2. Before diving in, a quick note. If you're new, complete the tutorial first, found in the main menu. It'll ensure you're ready for the chaos ahead. I have done that. Basic rundown. We have our ships on our right side here. I can press the number keys or select through here to individually choose them. Red bar is hull, blue bar is shield, yellow bar is energy. Hull, when it goes down to 0, the ship is destroyed. Blue depletes but can recharge. Yellow is used as a reserve for energy-hungry systems, and that will deplete and then rebuild itself as drain allows. So you can overload the ship with too much stuff to deplete your energy, and then that causes all sorts of problems. So it's the energy resources of it. As I said, this game is like Battle Void Harbinger, but it does give you more detailed work. It's just that with a smaller team behind it, the graphics aren't up to par for a direct comparison, and that's why I said about being fair earlier. Graphics are a bit worse, but the core mechanics, I think the core mechanics are kind of there. We're in a good starting point, at the very least. Remember, this is early access. and I'll show you what I mean. Moving on. The galaxy is in turmoil, with factions waging war for total dominance. As an independent captain, you have the freedom to forge your own path, ally with whomever you choose, or strike out alone. Your primary goal is to upgrade and strengthen your fleet, and for that, you will need credits. Earn them by completing missions or factions, which grant rewards and reputation boosts, or by blowing up ships and looting wreckage. But be warned, attacking ships has consequences. Attacking a faction's vessels will lower your reputation with them and turn them into enemies. So we can choose who we're facing here. There's a bit of a basic diplomacy mechanic. It's like the enemy of my enemy is not necessarily my friend, but if I don't give them a reason to become my enemy, then it's all to the well and good. If I'm allied with something, our shots pass through each of our ships without any trouble. If there's neutral, then they won't outright attack each other, but any wayward shots can still impact. And then there's hostile, which is just like shoot on sight. So that's the 3 states. There is a pirate faction, though, which is by default shoot on sight. So, yeah. I don't think there's a way to ally with the pirates in this one, but that's not normally my wheelhouse anyway. Just, I thought I'd mention that one to start out, as far as I'm aware. At the start, all major factions are neutral towards you until you give them reason not to be. Exactly what I just said. Pirates, on the other hand, are hostile on sight, so feel free to blast away guilt-free. Your interface includes various buttons at the top of the screen. Some will be available when there are no hostile ships or stations in the sector. Click on them to explore their functions. Most pages also feature a question mark at the bottom corner. Use it to learn more about that section. Explore the interface, tinker with your fleet, and carve your path to victory. The stars are yours to conquer. Thank you. Okay, so... Oops. Never mind, I've been interrupted. Skip that, please. I'll break those down as I get to them. Welcome aboard, Captain. We are the Iron Watch, an independent organization unaffiliated with any major faction. Our mission is to monitor the region for unusual activity, recruit and train promising individuals like you, and unite the sector in times of crisis. We are the Peacekeepers. We are the Grey Wardens. We are the Watchmen. Actually, no. The major factions would probably include the Watchmen. We are the ones who watch the Watchmen, I guess. I don't know. We've recently detected powerful vessels appearing across multiple sectors from beyond our region. However, the major factions remain too consumed by their own conflicts to take action. With little information about these mysterious ships, we've assigned them the codename Titans. Soon, we will need your help to investigate this looming threat. But first, you must prepare by mastering fleet command and management. To get started, provide 2 ships along with a set of modules. Follow instructions bottom left to get you started. And that's about it as far as I'm aware for the tutorial. I mean, I've clicked through the ones in the individual things, but that's it. So, I can drag and click, I can move my ships together, I can individually control them. They'll do their own thing quite happily. I can repair the ships if there's no hostiles, I believe. Though there's also a thing here to turn on and off the engines. I can also manually turn on and off things like shields when there's hostiles in the sector as well. So, if there's only like neutrals, I'm okay. But I can actually have my ships like hold fire and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Formation. Battle Void Harbinger players will be familiar with this one. By the way, I did feature Battle Void Harbinger on the channel previously. I don't think the devs saw that though, because that was years ago at this point. But we can choose where our ships try to orient themselves in our given situation. Just like this. Oops. Doesn't like overlapping, but that's to be expected. Looks kind of like a sword if I do it like that, doesn't it? I am the sword of justice. No, I need another thinner ship on the top to make it a proper sword, maybe. Star map. It's a bit bigger. I don't know if this is the only star map we get, but we do roam about this doing our missions, and we go back and forth. Harbinger didn't have as much of a story. It's like, go to this place, kill everything there, go on. That was all Harbinger did, with some side missions around the place. This one, we roam back and forth with the diplomacy and factions involved, and I don't know what goes on beyond that one. But every jump, though, costs us a bit of our currency, which is this stuff up here. And I think that's based on our fleet size, probably, but it also tells us like what faction is in overall control of the area I'm going to as well, and stuff like that. Missions. Active mission. Earn upgrade. Opportunities abound in the vast expanse of space. Take on freelance missions from stations to earn credits, upgrade your fleet, fine-tune your loadouts. Prove your worth, grow stronger, and when the time is right, you'll hear from us again. So that's our only story thread right now. I wonder if different faction starts might be something that'll turn up later. That's usually something that appears in games of this stripe. Not so much the Starcom ones, but Star Valor. I think there's one called Nexus that did it as well. It's pretty normal that you can choose different starts, which give you different things to start out, but we're just getting a basic independent start at the moment, so maybe we'll see that later. Maybe. But right now, we are flat out neutral. Actually, if we get faction starts, we might get a pirate start. Everyone else is hostile, except for the pirates. But the pirates, if they think you're weak, might start demanding tribute. That would be a rough one to do. Exactly the kind of thing I'd probably try to play, to be honest. Anyway, missions. That's our basic one. Loadouts. So, I've not mentioned it before, but each ship is broken up into grids. In general, grids are tougher and therefore more valuable to protect the closer into the heart of your vessel they are. The further out they are, the weaker they are, and the more easily broken they are. So, if your ship's getting damaged, you want to try and take the hits on outer layers versus inner layers. But we can also see here, different modules accept different, different module slots accept different modules. The exact colour tells you what's what. In this case, P is for primary for red, blue for support, green is something else, yellow is something else. I don't know what those two are, but I can check at the very least. I think yellow is probably engine, since that's the engine. Boost your ship propulsion and improve speed and tactical mobility. Yes, so we can modify these things by drag and dropping different things. I've had a bit of a look so far, and from what I can tell, if you want raw DACA, you want to just like bolt everything in. Like, give all the guns, lots and lots of tier 1 guns, and that's lovely. It'll do the job. The problem is, though, you'll quickly run into things like energy problems and individual weapons. Yeah, it's stacking up, but it's like mostly it'll run your power core dry. That's the big issue, I think, with that. But there's something you can do, which is you can actually merge these blocks in the module builder. So drag and drop a submodule into the first module of the builder. Do that. And then ensure that they're placed without any gaps, only submodules of the same type. Fill slots with 2 modules to build a level 2, or fill it with 4 submodules to build a level 3. And this is going to be taking 2 of these basic versions into one combined version. It takes 2 slots instead of 1, but notice it's got a increase in terms of overall damage and performance, with only a minor increase in terms of energy. So higher tier modules massively increase the efficiency of the stuff, though it does cost you the module slots in terms of actual power. Also, merging costs this material up here. I don't know what it's called, but it's something a bit more limited. Right now, I think I will go with... Let's kit out our primary ship with a spine of weaponry. And then this other ship here, I've noticed, is a bit faster. It's got a bit weaker in terms of energy and shields, but it is also, it's not a block. It's got more vulnerable hull layout as well, so this thing will be more easily damaged, I think, compared to the other one. I'll just give you an extra missile slot. There we go. Stations. Now, I can actually sell my ships. You can't do that in Harbinger. And I can buy various other ships depending on this. Factions can give discounts depending on reputation. And I can see their overall size. I can't see a detailed breakdown of them, I think. But I can... Oh, no, it does tell you. Primary slots, support slots, hangar capacity, various things about it. That's like 9,000. That's like 16,000. Well, it's got better hull. And better regen, and better energy. It's a bit slower, but yeah, this thing is flat out more capable. It's just like, I think maybe it's just it's long and narrow because it's of fitting into this shape. I don't know. Because that does look like a more detailed image, I think. Yeah, I can't see comparable size. I count from numbers though. 46 support shots. Eesh. Yep, that's a big boy right there. Okay, modules. I can buy modules. Let's see, an energy core. You know, that sounds very helpful to have it. I will buy you. You are a chaff launcher. Point defense against incoming missiles, but requires high energy to use. Energy is a premium right now, so I'll say, I guess, no, right now. And I can get a couple of extra lasers. Let's get a couple of extra lasers, sure. There we go. And I can pay a fee to just refresh the module market, I think. Actually, does that chaff launcher stay? It does. Okay. Repair bot. Repairs. I'll buy that. Beam laser. What do you do? Energy weapon that fires a focused beam at target, effective against shields. Good range and speed. Beam laser seems more powerful. Also, it doesn't have a speed stat because it's a beam. You know, I'll buy that. I want to see what it does. And an extra energy core. Max energy capacity improves energy. Yes, please. I'll buy 2 of them because I already have a plan for me. Then lastly, missions. This one's slightly awkward, I noticed, but these missions don't seem to be penalised the way the escort missions in Harbinger were. These are, you pay a small fee to accept the mission, and then we've got a time limit to complete them. It also gives a location, and we can have up to 10 of these at once. Also gives overall thing. Let's see, one up there. And, ooh, that one's over that way. Okay, sure. It says they're both easy. They'll give us something to do, won't it? Get that started out. And I'll do something cheeky. Since my first ship has been stacked up so much, I'm going to give myself a... Ooh. Combining a support module like this, well, I call it support, it's a primary module thing, is actually better than some of its parts if it's not a weapon module. Okay, noted. We can, by the way, rotate this as needed to try and fit it in. So this is something I wish Harbinger had, which a bit more of, which is like ship customization. Another reason I'm happy to try this one out and see how we do. I'll give you that. I'll also give you the repair bot as well. Yep. And you, you know what? I'll upgun you as well because I'm feeling nice. I'll do that. I'm going to hang on to the rest of those because I don't know how easy those are to get. Star map. Our destinations are marked. I think I can jump right there, or I can drop into intervening sectors. It probably... Does that count as 2 jumps or 1 jump? It probably counts as multiple jumps as well if I go that way. At least that's the way I think I'd code it if I was doing this. I'm not entirely sure. But I will head this way into unknown faction territory because I don't know what the icons mean yet. Sure, let's go. You probably also noticed, by the way, that there's no music going on anymore. There was music in the main menu, but no music in-game as of yet. As I said, this has just come out, early access. Modules. Ooh, more PD lasers. Another beam laser. Yeah, I'll buy myself another beam laser, please. Also some more missions. I think that something that might be a good quality of life feature is if in here it showed a limited map version with your current location at the center and destination with the entire thing zoomed out enough so you can see the travel route between your point in the middle and the destination mission. Just so you can see where you're going. Because that would make it easier without having to each time go show on the map and then come back down again. This one, because it's so close, I will take, actually. So accept you. Well, that pirate hunt is a bit too far out of my way, I think, and I will not do that one. Okay. Now, let's try this one. Forgive me, I'm checking. Okay. For science, I must test. Currently, it says 21 to do this defend the station mission. I am about to make a double jump to get to the sector here. Will it drop to 19? I have arrived. It has indeed. Okay, so it is per node travel. It's a very important. I know it's a very simple thing, a very basic thing, but it's very important to kind of verify it, I think. But now we've got a couple of targets. I can just right click on it to tell my ships to auto move towards it, or I can just override at any time giving them a conflicting order. Something worth noting though is I don't have any shields as of yet. So right now I don't have any kind of defensive layer before I get into hull, but then again the enemy doesn't either. Also, I don't like that. Yeah. I don't like that. I say that because my medium missiles are just flat out, they aren't predicting the targets, they're just turning idly around it. If they had some kind of target indicator to try and aim at, then that would probably help them work better, but then maybe more advanced missiles have that. I don't know. Is there another target? There is. There's a couple more ships coming in. Okay. Like Harbinger, that's an auto-collect. This loose stuff will get picked up automatically after there's no hostiles in the sector. But until then, I can actually go and pick some things up without waiting for that. But it's better just to go and clear the enemies, honestly. I do like this big burst of laser fire. And despite the what it says about my energy drain, I am not actually seeing too much to be concerned about as of yet. Those missiles are doing the damage though when they actually hit. It's up close when they have problems, it seems. Oh, that's my ship blowing up. Oh, that's not so good. Okay. One of your ships has been destroyed, but don't worry. Not permanently. Once all hostiles are cleared, you can repair it. If you need to leave the sector before repairing your ship, you can return later and restore it any time. Ooh, good to note. Just make sure there's room in your fleet for one more ship. I do not know what my fleet limit is. What I do know though, is I need shields of some kind to greatly improve my survivability. Also, I did say I thought that one was going to be a more fragile ship, and it turns out I was kind of right. Though I wasn't paying attention close enough, I wasn't watching exactly where it was being hit. Also, I don't know what that is. I think it's is that a repair beam? Repair drone? I don't know. Yeah, look at this. Very little. The narrow side structures on this thing mean that the durability wasn't so great, so they just clawed through the outer layer straight into the heart of it, and then it went down. This one has taken some knocks around the side of it and towards the front of it, but all in all, it's okay. Something that I do hope they do, though, is another art pass. I mean, these ships do look a little bit flat right now. I mean, I do appreciate that the individual turrets are modeled like this, but they don't quite fit the aesthetic. You know, it looks like they're not quite done on the same pass. But then again, early access, art touch-ups is probably going to be something that'll happen at some point. You, I want to repair you. Yes, I'll pay for it and just get you back. That's fine. You cost 45 to fix you, but you have this little guy in here, which is giving me 0.5 hull back per second while stationary. So you'll fix yourself in a little while. Well, I think that's a friendly repair drone of some kind that's helping me out as well. Okay, right. We're good, we're good. Honestly, yeah. I think my original assessment seems to be fairly accurate. Yeah, this thing is not as well presented as Harbinger, but I wasn't expecting it to be, because solo dev. But so far, I am liking what I'm seeing. And even if the worst comes to pass, and I don't actually record more, but I'm fairly confident I can do some more content on this. Even in its current state, it's not too bad at all. I'm fairly confident that I will play through this more. So yeah, not bad at all. Let's put a Point defense there, point defense there. Let's put one on the front there, I suppose. Actually, you got absolutely destroyed. I'll give you 4 point defenses, sure. And since I've got 2 beam lasers, I will combine them. There we go. Also, it seems like missions are giving me that. Either that or it's just dropped loot. I'm not entirely sure which at this point. But we are getting some more stuff at the very least. We also got a level 2 beam laser installed. Hooray! I was hoping to see if that changed the appearance of it. But actually, yeah, I think it has. That is visibly a larger piece of equipment. Sadly, I don't see the reactor module on there, though. Ah, well, we can hope. Hopefully more stuff will happen, but then again, if all modules are visible on the outer hull, they're probably just... It'll make the ships look very messy in the end, wouldn't it? Most of the original structure would be overridden. I don't know why I'm looking at my ships. I want to look at the other ships. Nope, nothing. Modules, nothing. Well, actually, there's I think it might be a mission to buy energy cores whenever and wherever I can. Also, swarm missiles versus, I think what I've got are missile 1s. Yes, they are. Okay. Rotation speed is a thing. Several short-range missiles for home capability. Apparently, the short-range homers have got less turning. I don't know. I'll install them and find out. I'll give my gunboat more guns. Because, of course, I will. Oh, this is going to be a bit of a mess in terms of getting a power core upgrade, isn't it? Actually, that depends. It gives me a 9x9 grid. It implies I need 4 to make a level 3. Can I make a level 4 with 8? Probably not. Does a level 3 have to be a cube? Context suggests no. So, I don't know. Anyway, let's have a look, see. Any more missions on... That's going back the way I came. Destroy all hostile ships in the sector, a normal difficulty thing. And that is, again, pointing me down that same way. That's next door, but I don't want to go that way. I need to reverse course. That's on my way, so I will go ahead and pick up that one. Sure. And I think, let's have a quick refresh. Oh, an extra engine and a chaff launcher. EMP blaster, an energy core. Bye. Extra engine is probably a good idea. And maybe a chaff launcher just to carry it. I mean, it's only 275. Then again, only. I've been burning through my money real quick. Let's do what's important and experiment with the module builder a little bit further. Oops. Oh. Did I just I think I just undid my building. Also, I can't seem to really do anything. It has to be... Oh, it's 3 modules to build a level 3. Right. My bad, I was misreading. But the fact it's not letting me combine 4 implies that I can't do a level 4. Unless it unlocks... Well, I can actually... No, there is some free placement. Maybe more combinations will emerge later as early access rolls on. Still, though... 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Actually, at this point, what's the point of a level 3? Because it's literally a level 2 with the exact stat bonuses of a level 1 added to it at this point. Yeah, because a level 1 is +4. 9 plus 4 is 13. Oh, it gets 1% more energy generation, but the same energy storage. Yeah. I was hoping for slightly better than that, but I will build it. Oh well. Oh well, I'm sure I will maybe get shouted out for that later, but that's okay. Also, I'll give you a second engine because you are the ship that gets everything right now. You are my big beefy boy. It will no doubt go horribly at the moment you get shot down, but that is how it's going to be. And we're just going to push on. I am liking the amount of DACA we've got going on. Those little yellow ones are actually the Swarmer missile type. That is good. I think that's all going pretty well, actually. And yeah, I was just moving around my other ship. Just there. How good is a swarm missile, I think? That's what I want to know, but it's not launching because I've actually tapped my energy supply despite the extra generators. That's okay. I knew my gunship was probably going to be having trouble. Keep going there. You're good, you're good. Oh, that poor fighter. I would not like to be in that fighter, to be entirely honest with you. Victory? Yep, victory. Okay, cool. I feel that maybe that could do with being a bit faster, the auto-collect, but it's not egregious, so that's okay. It's not quite as snappy as... I'm forever comparing this game to Harbinger. It's not fair, honestly. I think that tractor could do with being sped a little bit, because further out, because the sectors are actually a good bit bigger than in Harbinger. I feel like that might be a bit drawn out if the battle drags out and distances get more involved. Unless there's a module to improve it later, which is something I would actually install just to speed up collection, and that might actually be something to add further modification to the game, just like a tractor module increases speed of tractor collection. Why am I suggesting new things when I've not even seen what's in here yet? I don't know. I just like to randomly spitball sometimes. It's just a flaw of mine. Okay, let's see. Next target is... I still don't know what the individual factions are called. Hegemony, Vanguard, Eclipse. Okay, that's Eclipse I think I'm heading towards, isn't it? More to the point, I don't think... It doesn't seem like there's actually a pirate reputation tract in there. Oh well, I'll just drop in and see if there's anything interesting going on, I suppose. No. It's all good. Wow. 22 Latinum bars of discount. Thank you so much for that one. There is another energy generator, though. Bye. Yeah, I think having a display showing just in the section here, unless you need that for other description, just something on this screen when you select the mission that shows the travel path you need to do would actually be a considerable quality of life upgrade. I'm still not on any shields though. I'm actually a bit concerned about that one. I will refresh. Ooh, okay. Generator, buy. Repair module, buy. A fighter module? No translation found for fighter desk in new table. Okay, we are going to go with the classic description then. A fighter is a perfectly statistical average human combatant who is equipped with a sword, usually a shield or some kind of light to medium armor. They gain extra skill points but do not get much by way of specializations or significant drawbacks. Our new chosen module system will catapult our crew one at a time out into the void of space to charge valiantly at the enemy. Yes. If there's a fighter module, we just need a barbarian module now, and then that's just like the bigger, meaner, more aggressive version. I'm sorry. I confess I actually did find this module in my second jump, actually. second system, not second jump. The one jump I did before I started recording, I actually found this module, and so I already knew it existed, and there wasn't a description. It's like, human fighter from role-playing games. That was my immediate reaction to that. I'm sorry. I do have. I'm still a role player at heart. I honestly am. Let's see. Yep, I want to get that corner inverted. I do have the 4 credits required for the merger. Build you. And this will start to help with this ship's insane energy requirements. It's not that insane, actually. And energy generation is currently at 4, so this is helping. It's just I'm stacking more modules onto it. Not in itself a bad thing, apart from the fact it depletes itself quite readily. Maybe I should merge those basic laser batteries together to bring the... well, lose some raw burst damage, but get more sustain. That's the question, isn't it? Actually, there's no reason why I can't do like a bar of 3 modules. But then again, different ships have different layouts. A bar of 3 modules, you couldn't fit too many of those in here. But you could fit some level 2s and a level 3 in here. Huh. Okay. And because there's no refund of that material when I break down a module, that means I actually have to be more careful if I'm going to be doing that too much. Show me more, please. I got another fighter module. I'll buy that. Add another repair module. Sure. It's trying to hint that I might need chaff modules, but I'm going to leave them for the moment. Pretty pleasing, thank you. I will... oh, this ship can't actually take green module types. Oh dear. Oh well. I'll just need to load everything into my wandering brick here and hope it doesn't go wrong. That's... yeah. Okay, first normal mission. Let's go. Got some enemies, no shielding. Those I do kind of like that a little bit. The fact there's nothing that I can do armor-wise, apart from being aware of my ship's structural layouts, is a little unfortunate. But the fact that energy shielding isn't given to you when it's normally like a staple of most games, that you start out with some kind of regenerative barrier protecting you from anything that scrapes your hull. It's just like, sometimes the games that start without it either are built that way, or it's like they just try to hamstring it in. In this case, just flat out, I'm just not a high enough tech level, am I? I mean, yeah, I can fight, I can go through, I can do my stuff, but I just don't have the appropriate modules yet, and even when I do, it's got to pay that energy cost for resupplying them and all that. I am appreciative of the swarms of missiles that are going flying around the place, though. Gotta say that. Yeah, that could probably do with me a little bit faster. Let's see. I've got a energy core and an EMP blaster. I will be gracious. I will give this ship here both, because there's no room left in my fancy brick-like battle wagon. Can I rename ships in this? Yeah, this is the Aether. Okay, and that's a Raven. So I can't rename this one Brick. Oh well, that's a shame. Neutral territory? I am looking for... honestly, credits don't seem to be that good of a supply outside of running around to do missions ASAP. But that said, the rewards for doing missions is actually steadily increasing. Like, it is going up quite... it's a substantial amount as we jump from easy to normal missions, so I'm noticing that and appreciating that. It will work. You know, let's head down and then I'll head up that way anyway, so yeah, sure. I'll accept that one. You are... Down that way, no. No, I've decided I'm heading north. That's going back the way I came. Going backwards would have actually been a lot more profitable for me if I could tell where these missions were easily before I arbitrarily picked a direction. Ah, well. Could be worse. Swarm missiles. A shield booster. Does that work if I don't have a shield? I don't know. It's the first shield module I've seen. I'll buy it. An extra engine? Sure. Extra fighter module? Actually, I've not been keeping track of the fighters. I should probably do that. I'll buy another one just because maybe a carrier would be a thing to try and do in this. Basically, I've got 3 fighters in the back of this thing now. This guy could do with some extra engines, but then shielding. Well, let's give this guy a shield. Shield boost plus 15. This guy actually has a shield, which is still better than no shield at all. Also note, by the way, the moment I got shields, they are actually markedly weaker than my raw hull strength. Normally, shields are comparable quite easily to hull strength, but in this case, no, they're not. So yeah, this game does try to get you to pay attention to the overall state of your ship hulls a lot more than most games of its ilk do. In fact, I've just had a thought. This block thing, I wonder if there's some inspiration there from Star Sector and how that one tracks damage to your ships. Now, that's a game I have played a little bit of, but not anything like as much as I kind of wanted to, or probably should have, because people have been suggesting it and recommending it to me for absolutely ages, but I've just not really sat down and got into it. The tile thing reminds me. It also reminds me a bit of Wayward Terran Frontier as well. Another game that has been sitting on the back burner because it's not finished. Okay, let's move on. Star map. I will come to save you, CJ214. Your base is important to me. I think. I said I'd save you. I'm here to save you. Yes, here we go. Oh, you're under direct attack. I should probably actually get close enough to give some fire support. Oh yes, all the missiles. So I mean, like, massive burst damage because of all my low tier guns until my power runs out, and then it's just what else I can squeeze out. That said, though, I was just looking around. I didn't see fighters getting involved so much there. Or at least I didn't see anything launching from my stuff. Maybe they're not functional yet. Maybe that's why there's not a description in it. I don't know. But, oh, hey, another beam laser. Nice. Always welcome. And more missions. Let's see. No? Yes. Yes. No. Okay. And a spare repair bot? Sure. Okay. Let's keep on going then. We are doing absolutely fine. You could probably use some repairs, couldn't you? Oh no, you're fine. You've been patched up. It's all good. Cool. Let's move on then. Also, that's actually something that maybe this game could use. A fog of war sounds fancy, but what I'm suggesting is basically just an extra copy of this layer of the map, which would have copied onto it what faction controlled a territory last time it was in sensor range of your ship. Maybe just in a dulled out version so you know where you got active versus where you've been before. But the fact that these systems I know were owned by a faction are now question marks. And that could be solved with, as I said, just like an extra copy of the map layout, remembering was last detected, and only updates when you jump into a new system sector, and it overwrites that with what my sensors now read. That might be helpful, actually. Just help to get the sense you are exploring the map instead of wandering around blindly. Wait, there's hostiles here? Ooh, there's hostiles here. Social activity! Yay! The Raven is markedly faster than the brick. Huh. That might need to be careful of that. If the Raven gets out ahead, it's also the weaker of the two. Oh. But when the missiles start hitting... Oh dear. I'll take it. You know what? I've not actually been watching... Ah! I am actually getting that from salvage. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. The brick gets third engine. Yes. The beam laser. Problem is I'd have to take off something else. Don't really want to do that. You have refreshed your modules, and you've refreshed your missions. Okay, so that's not saved, which is good. Don't get me wrong, that's actually a good thing. You're in the same direction, so yes, I'll accept you. You are also in kind of the same direction, I'll accept you. You are also... Ah, we're rolling in the missions now. Okay, cool. That said, though, it might be a bit difficult for me to buy a new ship, to be entirely honest with you, but if I keep stacking engines and making my ships just flat out faster, then that'll mean that I can try and do some stuff, won't it? I think that might be my fighter, actually. Oh no, I'm dropping those little repair drone things. I think I'm dropping those little repair drone things. If so, that is actually being very helpful. Ha! I was about to dismount these fighter things. But build time, ship hull, rotation speed. Yeah, that... I might have repair fighters on me. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Oh no, those little things are actually the repair bots, aren't they? Never mind. I still don't know what I'm meant to be looking for. I'm sorry. This is an early impressions, first impressions kind of thing. I don't normally do this. Normally I grind through a game early stages a few times to figure out what's going on, and that's not the approach I decided to take this time. Sorry about that. I don't know what I'm doing. No. Just move on. I mean, 100 each section to refresh the market. Honestly, it adds up over time, but it's not that much, I don't think. It's not so much that I actually feel too bad about it. Okay, drops. Yep, that's the repair drone, which can help allies, but it works best if I'm standing still. Ah, we are launching a fighter. And another repair drone. I should probably merge those into a higher tier fighter just to see how that goes, honestly. I was kind of wondering where these little guys kept coming from. It turns out it's actually me that's spawning them. So that is good to be aware of. Though it does say repair drone, but I thought that was like an onboard thing repairing me. I didn't realise it was like literally dropping little repair things. Yep, those are my little fighters. Most definitely. Okay. There's more hostiles here. There are more hostiles here. Okay. Oh wait, this is a normal mission, isn't it? You see, I started accepting things without properly checking to see what the difficulty was. So, yeah. I'm sorry. Just had to clear my throat a little bit. In case you can't tell, I'm slightly blocked up. I don't know why. It's not cold weather out. I hope I'm not coming down with something again. Probably not. I think I need more swarm missiles though, just to see what a deluge of swarm missiles looks like. Also an important question, if you merge swarm missiles to higher tiers, do you get more missiles? I don't think the number of missiles was actually a stat that was in there. But that might be an interesting thing. If while merging things together, it could affect like how many projectiles are launched. Like swarm missiles, it could become a quad launcher. A medium missile could remain a single missile, but it gets twice as powerful. Or if you could choose when you were merging modules. I don't know. Just spitballing ideas again. Don't mind me. Oops. You are a normal laser. Yep, that was indeed a normal laser weapon module. Most excellent. Okay. I want to actually try that now. You're my swarmer. You're my swarmer. I will merge you two together. Thank you. Oh, one level 2 swarmer. Which I'll then install. I guess you'll have that spine there. That said though, gotta be aware the missiles do hull damage, but actually do missiles ignore shields? Because they don't have a shield damage statistic, so they might actually bypass shielding. Maybe that's why they're not as accurate. Then again, they also do fire slower as well, and they have travel time too, but are missiles and torpedoes an anti-shield munition? As in they ignore it? I don't know. Maybe. For now though, because to be honest, the build time, I'm not getting 3 separate ones, I'm just getting 1 each time these proc, like every time that happens. Same with these actually, so I'm thinking that the way to use fighters might be to merge them at this point. Just improve its speed, its rotation, its range. Build time it increases slightly, but the fact it only gives me 1 every time, even though I've got 3 modules. The question then becomes, is the module setting the limit of them? Because they share a cooldown. So will this only give me 1 fighter, or will it actually manage to spawn more than 1? See, we're doing science here. Trying to figure this out. Also, you are actually kind of battered. You need some repairs. You are a little bit... Oh. It changed the graphic. The bigger fighter module launched a different kind of fighter. Okay. Just have to wait another 10 seconds or so to actually, see if it launches another one. Also worth noting, the other Allied fighters, they're still around. Even though I dismounted and then reinstalled the modules involved. That said, maybe it's a weapon system, maybe it doesn't want to deploy them. I mean, I've only got 3 of those little guys out as well. That's one I think belongs to the station. So yeah, I think the number of modules, even though it has a negative effect on how quickly they come out, they are actually responsible for how many you can have. If I go into a new sector and I again get 1 fighter and 3 repair drones, we'll know that's the case. Science! No. Ooh, yes. You are in the right ballpark. I'll take you, sure. Go ahead. Also, generator, yes. These are all smaller ships, it seems like. I can actually almost buy one of these. If I hadn't been buying modules, I probably could have bought one. Almost got us a 3rd ship. We are improving the situation, slowly but surely. energy concerns are very real there. Something else that might be a good quality of life actually is left click, deselect if it's already selected. I keep left clicking on something expecting it to select just that one, which if I just bandbox then it does that, but if I just left click it, it deselects it. That's something I'm finding a little bit jarring, to be entirely honest with you. Also, we seem to have one fighter and 3 repair drones, so yeah, it is shared cooldown. Oh, I should have moved forward slightly. Oh well, I get some money, I suppose, but whoops, I didn't stop to realise this was actually a defence mission. My bad. Yeah, you'd think my reflexes from Harbinger would be slightly different, but honestly, the problem, I mentioned burst damage on Harbinger was a massive problem, and that's because it is, and it's actually at the point where, in the late game, especially on harder difficulties, if you're trying to save an allied space station, you have to physically have your ships in the way, because if the station is physically closer to the enemies, odds are they're going to gun it down before you can even do anything, though admittedly ships in this game are much faster than in Harbinger as well. In Harbinger they are way slower than this, and you can't upgrade that either. That's a limit inherent to the ship hull. Again, this game gives you customization options, which I do appreciate. It lets me tune things a little bit. Even if I'm not entirely sure, would be nice if there's a way to change slot modules around, but I'm guessing from what I've seen so far that it's locked depending on the exact hull we've got in use. The Revere defenders are here. We're just going to sit here and help to defend you. Yes. Mission complete. Huzzah! 6,000. I have got enough for an extra ship, actually. Am I limited to 3 ships? Is that what's going on? Ooh, shield module. Yes, please. Am I limited to 3 ships? I do not know. I must, for science, I must find out if that is the case. So we've got ourselves a 3rd ship. We have got a bunch of spare modules knocking around at the moment, so we can actually try and fit this guy out. Kind of fragile, but the core's actually got some endurance to it. No support modules again, actually. Did I check that? Oh, here we go. Hangar capacity. Green is hangar. Right. Does it tell you that in the tooltips, actually? No. No, it does not. Okay. Well, okay. So hangar capacity is green, and I just bought myself a ship that is not got that, but that's okay. Let's give this guy a quick loadout then. I was about to give it a shield generator, but no, I think Falcon should get that, because Falcon's actually been hanging around for a little bit. This guy is a slightly more sluggish ship, but no engine module, so I can't do anything about that. I've got multiple EMP blasters and things. This guy's mostly got support slots on him, actually, now that I'm looking at him. Reactor? Sure. A couple of lasers. You know, let's give him a pair of EMPs. My swarm missile. Just give him everything I've got, basically. Sure. And we'll see if that's a ship. Is that a ship? Maybe. Could be. Possibly. I think it's more durable than the Raven is, though. Let's have a look, see. Shield capacity is 15. Shield capacity 0. Doesn't tell me the health in this loadout screen, which is means I have to go hunting for that. Hull 152, 154, 190. So it's also kind of fragile, actually. So formation-wise, I might actually want it to be like that, with my bigger, stronger ship towards the front. In which case, I also want to I want to pull the shield off the Raven. Sorry, I know you just got that shiny shield generator, but I've decided I want it more. And now the ship, my lead ship, because it's the only one with a bunch of extra defensive things, even though it's technically my carrier, I think. It's just flat out the best ship I've got, so that one's in the lead. Yeah. Okay, moving on. No, that's a game I've not thought of in a while. Gratuitous Space Battles. Gratuitous Space Battles was a game that took 2D ship graphics and did very, very specifically set out to make it look amazing. So maybe that's something to look at as... Well, it's not a comparison really, because it's kind of a different thing. It's basically a battle simulator game that, without an overall mission structure and stuff like that. At least for the most part. Oh, I've not played that game in a while. All I remember is I was generally kind of bad at it. So, yeah. Probably not the best thing to be mentioning here and now, because I've also never done content on it. No, that is not a hidden shame in my past. Shut up. I'm not going to show you that one on camera. No, not at all. Not unless I'm asked nicely for it, but, you know. Anyway, let's keep on going. Do you have anything else I want to have? Not really. Not straight off. Defend the station, but I need to get over there because there is a mission going on, I think, that is probably going to be timing out fairly soon. 19, 21, 17... Oh. Not really. Okay. Sure, I'll go and accept the mission then. Sure, let's go. This game will be this video will be slightly over an hour, but honestly, I think I've shown the basics and early start of it quite well. Oh, it's defend the station. I need to rush the station. Okay. Yeah, those missiles I think are deliberately not tracking the targets properly. Or rather, they're not leading the targets. I think they're deliberately acting like that because the things like the laser shots, they are predicting target movements. At least they're doing well enough doing it on the big ships. On the smaller ships, it seems to be struggling a tiny bit. So yeah, never mind. I guess they aren't. It's just they got better shot speed. Also, the fact I've got beam lasers as well. So I suspect beam lasers are going to be the thing for consistent damage. But they do have to get through shielding. Also, yeah, notice that? At the time I got to it, the station kind of got pummeled a bit. Anything here? Give me the generator. Not really. Wait, I had a science experiment in progress, didn't I? I wanted to see how many swarmers my brick is firing out, which I haven't been doing. Jump to here, please. Now, progress forward because I must provide cover. Though the enemy is on the far side of the thing, so that needs me to actually zoom it. Time control is very important to have. They are generally quite useful to have. Though I notice the enemies are just hanging out over here. They're not actively trying to move towards the station or attack stuff. So that implies that they might need some kind of AI to start moving towards hostiles if they're out of range to start out. Just thought. Ooh. Did I see 6 missiles come out of you? I think I did. I think I did. I think I did. I think I did. I still need to check the medium missiles then, but the swarm missiles haven't doubled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 missiles then. You're launching 4, but I think you've got multiples. Not entirely sure though. Oh, and yeah, they're spawning out even further. Oh dear. I feel like the number of missiles has been increased. Yeah, that's launching 5. So it's not even doubled. It's actually a increase to 250%. Is that a stat that it tracks? It would be nice if it was a stat that it tracks, but I don't remember spotting that stat. I'll check once I get access to it. Though, to be honest, merging the bigger missiles just to improve their turning rates would be an amazing upgrade, I think. Just in general. Okay, you're good. Thank you. Okay, right. So, missile hull, missile, yeah, swarm missiles, launches several. Yeah, that would be a nice stat to have, I think. Just like it tells me the overall performance, but like a number of projectiles stat would be nice. Just a thought. I mean, obviously it functions that way, but I didn't know if it was going to launch 2 or 4. I wasn't expecting to launch 5, so I was pleased to come across that one. Something I must do then is I must being able to drag and drop swap things would be nice as well. I must find out if this has a similar effect now. So, medium missiles. Build it. Yes. Install it. Yes. I do have the extra shields, which I will install on Raven. I mean, a bit of shield means that I don't have to repair the hull. So, yes. Ooh, an engine. Yes, please. Oh, that's not fair. 3 generators. Curse you! No. Can I buy a new ship? I can. Okay. So what's my limit? What's my formation limit? I don't know. But I do have a little bit of a flotilla forming, it seems like. Harbinger had 4. But while there are some base similarities, honestly, this is not Harbinger. And I hope I've managed to convey that much at least. Is this game worth getting in its current state? Because I am now going to wrap this up, at least this particular video. Honestly, yeah, there is a solid core here. If you're interested in this kind of game, yeah, give it a go. Very much so. Will I be playing more of this? I am. Okay, I hope you don't mind the slight little time jump there. I just decided I wasn't quite satisfied with how I wrapped up the video the first time around, so I figured I would go back, I'd cover some things I kind of forgot about, must be entirely honest, and give my conclusions in a bit more of a structured thing instead of like multiple burbling and random words thrown in. I honestly wasn't satisfied with how I rounded out that particular video. So we are slightly further in now. I've cleared the mission cluster that I was working on at the end of the last bit, and my ships have upgraded a little bit further to the point where I've learned a few more things about the ship customization system. Let's get the loadout system. So I've been merging things together. I've worked out that different modules tend to require different amounts of things to merge to a higher tier. Like weapons tend to need 4 modules to go together, engines need 5, stuff like that. So it depends on what kind of module you're trying to merge, and that's where this bigger grid starts to become involved, because different things, different requirements, stuff like that. I'm also kind of hitting the limits of my offensive firepower with hard missions now on what these initial smaller ships can do. I'm now needing more medium ships, I find, like this, the Ether, or the Ether. Well, Ether is the correct pronunciation, I think. And we'll just see how that's going out, but I've also worked out that sadly I'm limited to 4 in my total number of slots, so that's going to be what we're dealing with from here on. Move to this next section. This is a medium. Those next 2 missions are both hard ones. Oh, okay. Mission expires if you do the last jump to get into the mission sector. Okay, because this was the sector for that particular mission. Good to know. If it says there's one left, you've actually got to be there when it's got one left. That might want to be changed, to be honest. It's slightly misleading. Anyway, I never did actually wrap back around. I got scatterbrained and distracted, and I never said why I decided I would actually take a look at this game and most likely do a video in the first place, even though I said so at the start of this particular video. That's because since I've been watching this sphere for quite a while, I've come across a lot of horror stories like contracts, agreements like, you must be positive, you must do blah blah, you must include this bit saying this, that and the other. Mostly related to advertisements rather than giving a free stream key out, must admit. But this one was like, I'm paraphrasing slightly, but it's like, hi, solo dev, I'm releasing a new game. Please, I'd be happy if you take a look at it. Release it before or after the release date. It's entirely up to you. I just hope to see it on your channel, and that is basically the sum total. It was polite to the point. It gave me the key without any real expectation, just in the hope that I would do something. And it didn't try to be pushy at all, so that's kind of why I decided I would be putting out a video. Though admittedly at this point, it's probably going to be the delay after it releases on Steam rather than on the day itself. So, this is also why I came back to this rather than doing it straight away. Oh, by the way, these angles of fire we see here, these are the actual coverages for the point defense guns. You'll see some sticking out the side of my ship there, some out here. This also depends on roughly where it is in relation to the ship in the slot it's picked, so that's something I've noticed as well in terms of PD coverage. That this could probably do with being toned down a bit, or when they're overlapping a load of them, they seem to be getting a bit bright. That might be worth looking at as well. Just noted. Anyway, I am sorry. I keep distracting myself with this, that, and the other. I am Mark III. You're consistently making rapid-fire content. You never delay anything. No. I get distracted all the time, so many times. So yeah, my concluding thoughts. First off, prefacer. This is very much early access game. That is very much true. Would I recommend it in its current state? It is definitely quite playable in its current state. I am quite content with how smooth it is and how well it works out. Just eliminate all the pirates, that's absolutely fine. This is a hard level difficulty. We are against what I think is a medium-sized ship, roughly equivalent to my brick here. And these guys, with their weapon slots, I'm thinking of these guys as the light ships now. Even though they are kind of same size or bigger than the brick. They can't mount the offensive punch that the brick can. Overall. Yeah, is it worth it? I think it is. Is it going to develop further? Most likely. I did spot that there was a negative comment saying this a downgrade compared to the previous game, but I counter that by saying this is, as I said, definitely very early access. Maybe it's been released slightly earlier than it should have been, but that is not my place to judge or decide that. That is something for the dev to know, so purely. Is it worth the price point? Honestly, that is something that I have long since said on this channel, and said over and over and over. Is something worth buying in early access? I would say that is entirely down to your point of view, but you should pay based on what is in the game versus what is promised. Because in the end, with an early access game, what you're paying for is what's already there. Does this game have potential? Oh yeah, this game does have potential. I do quite like it. I like the feel of it. I like how it is. I can drop in for a few minutes and then just wander off again if I'm so inclined. I don't have to commit myself to half an hour to an hour session to feel like I'm getting anywhere. This game is very much rapid fire in that respect. I feel like its structure might lend it towards a mobile release more than anything else. It's like I've been looking at the kind of blocky layout of some things, like the module builder, the station in particular, mission layouts, stuff like that. Does imply that maybe this is intended to be a mobile game as well. Also, the 4 ships limit is Slightly arbitrary there, but I feel that's might be what's going on. But I will also point out, I mentioned it in text shortly before the time skip, I'll mention it again, there is actually a free demo as well, so that is something I very much like seeing. There is a demo, check it out, see what is here, and decide for yourself if this is something you would like to go for. Personally, I will be spending more time on this. More content, probably will be, as I get into some bigger ships finally and I get to see what they're like. Because notice in this hard fight, the enemy's firepower ramped up, and so my ships, their hulls were actually getting a bit battered. So I do need better hulls. So I'm looking to swap out my hulls at this point. Also, I happen to have the 3 different sizes of repair drones hovering around. That's level 1, that's level 2, that's level 3. They are just hopping around. Something I would suggest is maybe have fighters launch more rapidly, rather than having to wait for the module reload of each individual time and then resetting as soon as one launches. That would help the fighters feel a bit more responsive, I think. Like, a bit more like they're there, rather than punishing people for having a lot of individual modules. Because all the guns can fight once, all the fighters, they have to wait for them all to deploy. That feels slightly jarring, I must admit. But yeah, at the end of the day, I do like the game. I do give it a positive appraisal. I do think it has potential. I do think it's enjoyable. And I do like how I can pick it up and leave it again whenever I have time, or if I want to spend a little bit just punting around with a couple of spacecraft. That's just how it goes. So again, thank you very much to the developer for reaching me out and providing me with a free Steam key. I give this game a thumbs up. Price point may be slightly high for some people's taste, but that is forever the risk of an early access title. It is. Well, they have to decide based on the price and based on what they are hoping to do with it, because too many price points changes can also be a massive detriment to a game. So I think it's in a comfortable position for me at least. But that is again down to individual appraisal. This has been I Am Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Helps out me, helps the channel, give me those virtual head pats I oh so crave. And feel free to let me know if you have any comments or questions about the game, and that might be addressed in further video follow-ups. Let me know if you want to see this game any more on the channel as well. Yeah, getting pummeled slightly. Do I have one of the bigger ones? No, I have seen a slightly bigger pirate ship on a couple of missions as well, which is like this shape but with a longer tail as well. It's got more guns on it at the very least. But these guys are, I think, equivalent to my brick overall in terms of performance. I also do appreciate the fact there's a time speed multiplier down here. I keep comparing this game with Battlefield Hardware because I think that's the closest thing in my experience games I've played to compare it to. But that's also something Harbinger does, and it is very much useful for getting to and from places a bit faster. So this game very much does play to the angle of like, it lets you decide how long you want to invest in what. And ooh, my brick has just gone splat. As I said, I need better ships. I don't know what ships at present. That's okay. I have enough firepower to deal with things. I can survive this without any trouble. I just went in kind of dumb, got a bit too close, rather than standing off and letting my missiles do the talking for me. Oh, speaking of the missiles, I did that science experiment with level 1s versus level 2s of the normal missile types. Sadly, they do not actually launch multiple missiles. They launch at the same rate. It's just the missiles are flat out better in that case. And oh dear, that's another wave. I can take those, no problem. Also of interest, by the way, I mentioned that maybe projectile launch count would be a good idea for things like burst lasers or particular swarm missiles. I also found the chaff launcher actually has those stats listed. It's just that each weapon or system only lists a maximum of 6 stats. I think that's because of the design choice to have it like in those individual squares for presentation. That might come back to bite the developer a little bit, I think, in terms of like screen real estate. It might be better to have 2 columns of stats instead. Like say left side on a weapon system, left side is stats of projectile, like its damage, its projected range, if there's multiple projectiles fired in a volley, and then its overall DPS, and right is miscellaneous things like NG weapons, sorry, NG drain, or shot range, stuff like that. Just like, that might work a bit better in terms of using the screen real estates for showing the stats of the modules. That's just a thought for me. I will show you once I clear this and get access to my loadout screen again. To target that guy, I do need to get this. This is also the first mission I've come across with 3 waves as well, which I do appreciate. I do have the firepower to try and deal with it. Though when I tell things to target, they just move up real close, which can be a problem if I've mostly got standoff weapons like these missiles. So I do kind of want to be sitting back a little bit, at the very least. But I think this is probably the last enemy. Yep, that just leaves the fighter. There we go. Mission complete. I have the money. Yes. I will repair you, get you back into the fight. I've noticed that on the harder missions as well. I can't rely on the repair drones anymore to fully fix things up. It takes a while, so it's actually flat out better to just repair my stuff as we go. Enemy numbers are increasing. Let's see, loadout. So this is what I mean. Like, there's a block of 6 stats down here. Chaff launcher does have the per launch stats, and the lack of description of the fighter I still find personally very amusing. There we go. Let's see, station-wise, missions, hard, normal, 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 hard. So difficulty is ramping up quite steadily. I've only wandered out in one direction, but the mission difficulty is increasing. But this is the ship I'm thinking of equivalents, the 8 to 11,000, because I'm judging it based on overall primary slots, to be entirely honest with you. Like, these guys have 6 to 7, these guys have 11 to 17, and then there is bigger ships which have just flat out more weapons, sorry, primary slots. I'm calling them weapon slots, but they do take generous as well. But it's like, there is some give there about what counts as each ship type. But in general, a more dense ship like this is more durable than a ship which is a bit more spread out. So that's something I'm realizing. So Raven itself is generally kind of fragile. I will stop there, though. I have started waffling, talking as I finish the mission, and then we start to go places. So yes, Space Menace 2. Now available on Steam. There is a free demo. I would suggest trying out the demo if you're not sure, and then decide if the game is worth it to you to buy, because it is early access. There will be a link to the Steam page in the description down below. Thank you for watching and for listening to my ramble if you made it this far, and I'll catch you all some other time. Yeah, I think I'm much happier with that outro and summary. Last time it was a bit of a mess. I can't help feeling that I've waffled a bit again, though. Another thing I say a lot. Someday I'll make sense. Just not today, apparently.